I'd like to give a quick thank you to the WD-40 company for sponsoring this video. Hey everybody, it's Ryan. Welcome back to How Farms Work. In this video, I'm going to be taking the JCB over to the farm and doing a little bit of maintenance on it. So I actually have my very first for-hire custom brush mowing job, and needless to say, I'm just a little bit excited because I really enjoy brush mowing. It's hands down my new favorite job around the farm, and it's just kind of cool that someone else is going to pay me to do it for them, and makes it even better. So in the meantime, before I go and mow for someone else, I want to make sure that the JCB is gone through and ready to go. And I want to take it over to the farm. Now, there's washers that mount the quick attach plate on, and the washers actually have to be seated in the right position. Otherwise, I can't get the grease gun in there to grease those zerks on each side. So they're both skewed off. I think the last person that did work on it didn't line them up just right because they were covered up by the washers. So there's actually a cutout in the washers where they're supposed to be. And I want to get that done as soon as possible because that's arguably one of the most used pivot points on the JCB. So having those grease zerks nice and greased is a very good thing. So we're gonna go over to the farm. I'm gonna do that. I got oil and fuel filters ordered for the JCB, so when that time comes, I can change that. But we'll go over, fix those washers, probably wash the JCB off, and then I wanna come back out, hook up to the brush mower, and do a little brush mowing out here to make sure that it's gonna run because it has been sitting for 2 months, and I just wanna make sure that I'm not gonna spring any oil leaks or anything like that because any problems that I can iron out before I go over, the better. So another thing that I need to do is check the tracks. So what do you say we get started? I've learned from cleaning these tracks in the wintertime when it's cold that water, even if it's freezing out, makes it a lot easier to shovel all the manure off, even if you just get it a little wet. I stole one of my nephew's freeze pops. Don't let him know. It's our little secret. I've got it all cleaned off, but the first thing I'm going to do is have a look right here. So this quick attach has been replaced. This is not original. The very first teleskid models, as of which this is one, had an issue with the quick attach. So under warranty, that was replaced, and the new one is a lot sturdier. So one thing that we got to do is go to these bolts here. So we got this grease zerk here. However, this washer is supposed to have a little crease in it. So the dealer didn't line up the washer, so I can't grease these. So we gotta loosen this bolt here. We don't have to take it all the way out. We just need to get that washer loose. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray it with this WD-40 Specialist Penetrant. Fast acting, so I'm hoping that if I douse that down and spray all around it, that'll get in there and loosen it up just enough to where I can take that out. Well, that did it. So all I needed was to turn it so it was like that. And I just got to hold it in place, make sure that doesn't rotate. So through process of elimination, we figured out that these bolts are connected. So still gotta fix the washer on this side too. So he's turning it over there. There you go. Take this off. See if it works. It's brighter. So now I've got the teleskid propped up by the bucket. We're gonna measure the track tension So all we got to do is take a tape measure and then measure the distance between the bottom roller and the tracks, which this one's sitting about 7/8 of an inch. So we're good there. And then on this side, it's sitting just under 1 inch. So this one's a little bit looser. It's one to keep an eye on, but it's within the tolerable range. So I'm gonna leave them as they are. So anyway, I'm gonna take this back out to my place where the brush mower is, hook that up, make sure that's ready to go, make sure there's no issues with it. It's been sitting in the brush for a couple months. And tomorrow I'm gonna hook up my truck to the gooseneck, make sure that we can get the rear stands down so that we can load up the teleskid on there, load up the brush mower, and then Wednesday, the day after that, I should be good to go ahead and head over to the guy's place that I'm mowing for. So I'm mowing for $100 an hour, and I told him that I'd mow with a minimum of 3 hours. So my guess is it's gonna take me between 3 and 6 to do what he wants me to do. So my first day mowing for someone else, I think that's all right. So I'm gonna take this out to my place, wash the tracks off, and make sure that the blades are free on the brush mower. What I like to do is go through, mow it off, give it at least a week. In situations like now, whatever I mow is gonna get sprayed off next year. But give it some time to sprout new growth, and then go through with a mix that has 2,4-D in it. Then that will select for the grass. So it won't kill the grass off as long as you don't spray it too heavily. And that way it'll kill any of the broadleaves out there. So what I've really noticed is that I got a stretch over here going down the hill that I mowed off that's really starting to grow up nice green grass. And it's taken a good year since I've started mowing that for it to finally come in. But I have been spraying it to kill off a lot of those broadleaves and those weeds and any trees or thorn bushes that are coming up. So that's just my personal strategy for getting new grass growth coming up and stopping all those weeds from coming up. Out here making a little test run with the mower after a few months of non-use, making sure that the motor's not going to leak or anything. Looks like it is actually, but not enough to really be too concerned about. I just have to tighten the fitting on the top. There's a new path. I love what I do. There's a baby! Hey buddy, don't mind me. You're awfully young. Yikes. Took out a whole friggin' stump. So far so good. This is the spot with the grass growing in that I had talked about. You can still see the latest dead weeds that I sprayed on the right there. But this only used to be thick enough for me to fit the four-wheeler and maybe the skid loader through. We always used to be able to drive the tractor through here, but the brush got so thick on the sides where we couldn't anymore. And I could still use some trimming higher up, but I got the base cleared out now enough to where, I mean, I can see straight down to the bottom. And this is what I mean about coming through and spraying things off and just making sure that you're giving the grass the higher advantage. We still got some areas that the grass needs to come up in a little bit thicker. It keeps eroding away. The other day and I couldn't get the JCB up this Hillside. Now that it's dry, let's give her another try. Tracks are awesome for this. Man, I marched straight up that hill like it was nothing today. And he said, "Let there be light." Well, this is pretty cool. I've never stepped down on this part of the hill. We have walked down the fence line over there, which is about 200 feet that way. But I've never really had a reason to step on this part, and let's just say that it's pretty bad as far as erosion goes. And what we've got here is a big old oak tree. This is probably one of the oldest, if not the oldest, oak trees or trees in general still living on this farm. We had what I would say is a bigger one over in the other pasture, but that one got basically destroyed. It died years ago in a storm. But check this thing out. I don't know how well the camera can show it, but it doesn't even look that big on the screen. But the one edge of it is about over here, and then the other edge of it's about this far over here. It's a big tree. So right here is why you could actually make the case for leaving thorn bushes, because one of the few places that the cattle actively avoid are the places where there's thorn bushes. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to get down here and with the JCB, and I'm not trying to get that close up on top, because the more brush you have up where there is a lot of erosion like this, the places I tend to try to avoid because of reasons like this. I don't do this on all the hillsides. This is just an extremely high traffic area because it's the shortest route from the buildings out to the other pasture. So the cows just cut right across up this sharp hill instead of taking the field road all the time, which they do take when they're just kind of meandering about. Here's the other side of that oak tree. She's pretty rotten. Still kicking though. There's two sides to every story. This one is definitely going to look a little bit different from the house. Okay. That kind of scared me. There was a tree limb that must have stuck through between the cab and the frame of the JCB, because the floor in here started to push up. Scared me a little bit. what all of this over on the left is going to look like. So what I do is I go through, mow it off, let that brush come up a little bit, and then next year I'll come out with some 2,4-D and I'll spray it, and then it'll end up looking just like that, the nice beautiful grove. And that looks like one good hunting spot if I could get all that cleared up. because you can see right across to the other hillside that comes down from the house. So I don't know, it is definitely opening up this pasture a little bit. Not even just a little bit. It's really changing the look of these hillsides, and I'm loving it, because if I can get the rest of it to grow up to nice green grass like that, it's gonna be real nice. There's gonna be a whole lot more feed out there. Yeah, but yeah, so far I'm just trying to push out and go out as far as I can to, out on the hillsides. There's a certain point where it gets too tippy, and I just don't want to go sliding downhill and have to have the tractor come pull me out. So I love what I do. Oh man. So this is one of the hillsides that doesn't have a path up to it. So you can get to this hillside from one of the other ones, but you can't go up the hill. So I looked at it and I'm like, you know what? Today's the day I'm gonna try to make a path up, and then hit a roadblock. There's a tree down up in front of me, and I don't know if they've got me penned in where I'm at, but I pretty much made it to the top of the hill. I broke out up there. There's just right where the wind can hit, basically all the trees are just knocked down. So might try figuring out how to get past all of them, but getting close to being done tonight and with this video, getting towards the end. So gonna try to find my way out. Whether or not I can break out up there, I'll do it. And then that's gonna be it for this video. I've gotten so much done these last couple days just working a few hours on it. You can really get a lot done with one of these mowers, and if you get the trees just right, it'll suck the saplings right through, and it'll grind them up right on the spot. So definitely one of the best purchases I've ever made. This path looked like that and that. Oh man. So I'm pretty sure I found an old cow path right next to the tree. I think I'm gonna be able to slide up through there. Hopefully I can break out. And I'm hitting trees again. We're getting out. Hold up a minute. This is not where I thought I was. Whew. I thought I was one hillside over. Oh boy, that's alarming. Wow, at least 500 feet off my mark. I thought I was on the next hillside over. Oh, this is the third hillside. And I actually have a spot broken open over there. Huh. Well, it's still nice having a spot down in the bottom, down where I was coming up the hillside, but I'm having difficulty breaking through this tree line right here. But I think I can do it with a little bit more effort. Sun's going down, better make it quick. I just got out of the JCB because there was a vague hint of something being on fire. So it kind of smells like wood burning with maybe like a little bit of rubber as I was walking around the JCB. And this is what I found. I almost just reinvented fire, folks. It's always a good idea. You smell fire to stop. I'm pretty well done mowing for now. We got a couple other jobs that we want to get done around the farm, and I don't think that'll be the last of what I do this year. There's still a never-ending amount of brush to cut, and that's just on this farm. I've barely even started even down at Travis's place. So right now I'm just trying to get this place cleaned up. I haven't done much work out in Klein pasture, but I'll probably go back out there and start doing some mowing again sometime, just to open up the fences, because I'm still working on making a path around the entire pasture so that we can just drive it instead of having to walk through the woods and up and down gullies. But overall, I'd have to say that so far, that JCB and that CID mower, hands down, my best investment yet. That's pretty much it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to check out all of our other videos. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. All Owl Farms work. And with that, I'll see you next time.